Hi there, family. Hi, everyone. I hope everyone has been good. I have been good myself. It has been a couple of weeks of absentia on the channel. Welcome back for yet another episode. If you are joining us for the very first time, I go by the name of Zoda P. Welcome on the channel, and I hope you are going to be part of the family. If you are a returning subscriber or a returning viewer, thank you so much for the main support. Do stay on the channel and keep on supporting. Thank you so much. So today we are going to be going down memory lane. Today I'm just going to be telling you a story, not a story. It's not a story, but I'm just going to be sharing the journey of losing my dad, how life became after that, and how I dealt with the pain. So basically, welcome to story time. As I sip my tea, let's go this memory lane together. Okay. Okay, well, for those who have watched the first and second video, you do have a little bit of information of I come from a family of two siblings, which is my sister and I am the second born. So I did mention on the second video that I was very close with my dad, very, very close with my dad. I was close with my dad more than I was with my mom, you know. We shared a birthday together, which is why when he passed on, I had a tattoo on my back, which is written November the 20th, which is our birthday. So, in as much as it was about me honoring his memory on my body, it was also about me because it's also my birth date. So yeah, 2012 when I was doing my first year at varsity, during June exams, my dad got sick, and my family couldn't tell me because they were trying not to disturb or distract me from my exams. So they just hid that information from me. So I got home after the exams, obviously for the holidays. And when I got home, I arrived and only to find that my dad was really ill. It was just a sad moment there and there. I literally cried. I just broke down, with my mom. It was just sad. So I was afraid to go to his bedroom. I was afraid actually to be with him. The pain was just too much. It was really too much. It was really unbearable, you know. And yeah, it was just like that kind of a situation. So I remember, fast forward, I think it was just a week and a couple of days after I've returned, a day before he was hospitalized. And as he was hospitalized, my sister and I slept in with my mom in their bedroom. So my sister had to go early in the morning with my uncle to go and check on my father while my mom was going to come after them. So, sometimes when something bad has happened, we all somehow just get the feeling that there's just something that has happened. So the mood in that morning, it was just completely different. It's like all of us knew something had happened, but it was not confirmed, you know. But I remember vividly my mom sat us down and said, whatever happens today, please accept. You know, for her, it was like she knew, she was definitely sure that he's normal. So my sister went, I was left with my mom, and a couple of, I think in an hour's time, my mom then followed them. And then I remember there was this Mtunzi number song that was playing. It spoke about Mthembe Njalo. I remember sitting in front of a computer. It was playing there. I don't remember praying so hard in my life. I don't remember pouring out my heart like that in my life. I prayed for God to give him a second chance. I prayed so hard. I prayed so hard. And instantly, when I just finished praying, I felt this inner peace. And how I interpreted this peace for me was that God has answered my prayers. You know? And I needed to go to a complex instantly after that. So I went. I'm sorry. But I was not okay. You know? I was just not okay. My body was just so tired. You know, I felt everything that I was doing is like I was just lingering. You know, I was forcing myself literally to do anything. I walked there and I got whatever that they've sent me to go get. And then I came back. When I opened the gate, then there was my grandmother, who's my mom's aunt, opened the door with my other sister from my uncle's side. Opened the gate and waited for me to come in. So they hugged me and told me that we're sorry, he's gone. I remember I did not even shed a tear at that time. I don't even know what was going on through my head. I can't explain. So we're just packing, you know, when someone is dead, you know, there's the packing that goes on in the house, you know, in preparation for that. So that happened, helped around with everything. And then later my mom and my sister came back, and in a short space of time the house was just filled with people, a lot of people. So yeah, that was the 3rd of July 2012, and that happened. He was gone, and then we buried him. You know, all protocol in terms of burial were observed, and yeah, we laid him to his final resting place. And then now when everyone is gone, life and reality struck in, you know. And for me, towards the whole process up until the burial, I did not allow myself to feel the pain. I did not cry even on the day of the burial. You know, I actually prevented, basically I've preserved any sort of feelings, you know, and did not want to feel anything, and pretended like everything was okay, and pretended like I am acceptive of the situation and I understand the situation and everything. So I remember instantly after we had 10 days, you know, which is basically a week after the burial, I needed to go back to school. I needed to go back to a foreign land where I was surrounded by completely strangers. And for me, I think the reality started sinking there because I left my mom and my sister at home, which were basically for me my comfort and my my source of strength in the whole situation, because being there was all of us being there for each other, and accepting and going through this journey of acceptance together. But now I needed to be extracted from this equation and go and, you know, and face life all by myself with completely strangers. So the reality started sinking in there, because that led to depression for me. So I started not wanting to attend classes when I got back. I cried every day. I cried every minute. I cried every second. And I stayed alone. So I would close myself in my room and probably cry all day and not have anything to eat. I did not even want to bath at some point. I didn't want to go to school. Every time I would even walk into the library, I would literally cry, and something would just pack and go. I would pack and go. I would want to get into class. I would be there, but literally 2 seconds I will be in the restroom. I'll be crying. Something will tell me just up and go, and I would do exactly that. And it was really, really difficult. It was really difficult, and a breakthrough came when I had a conversation with somebody else, who then referred me to psychiatry at school. So I went to the Department of Psychiatry, where I was seeing a psychologist. I think it went on for about 6 months. So that is where I was able to pour out what was inside of me. That was when I was able to actually deal with the pain. That was when I actually allowed myself to feel something in that specific room with that psychologist. That is where I was able to open up my feelings. That is where I was able to not feel numb, but to feel something. That, listen, actually you have lost someone you love, and it's painful, and it needs to be painful, and it's okay for it to be painful, and it's okay for you to not be okay about it. So I went through that, and I must say, had it not been the help of that psychologist, I don't know what could have happened with myself, given the circumstances of everything, given what I was going through, given what I had allowed myself to go through. Had it not been for that moment in that room where I literally just gave it all out, I don't know what could have happened with me. I don't even think that I was going to be able to even finish school, because at some point, being there, I felt somehow that because I was close with my dad, I always felt like somebody owed me something. Somebody owed me an explanation. Somebody owed me comfort. I felt as if I'm the one who really lost somebody in this whole thing. And for that, I felt like I was being owed, I don't know what exactly, but I felt like I was being owed something, because of the relationship that I had with my dad, and because also I felt like, because I didn't have the time to deal or come to terms with it, because I was not there throughout the whole journey, because when it all started, it was all hidden from me, and now I get home when I'm excited to be home, and then I find him ill, and then just in a week's time I lose him, and then instantly after that I need to go back to school, to a foreign environment with foreign people. But who's there for me? Who's there? So I felt like I had this anger in me that no one is here for me. I felt like my mom had my sister had my mom, but who did I have? I felt like somebody owed me something. So a phone call was not enough. I needed to be in a space or in a comfort of people. I needed to find solace in people that were close to me. I needed to find solace in my mom, solace in my sister. For me it was that. But I felt like everything was just so foreign to me when I got there, and hence everything just trembled. I remember at this point, I was found by this guy. I will not forget this day. This guy's name was Machacha. He was a guy from Swaziland. So I had my traveling bag with me, and he found me in a very dodgy place. And how he found me was that they were coming from playing soccer somewhere in a different area, and the car broke down, so they needed to find their way through the food. So he found me there, and how he explained the situation to me was that I couldn't recognize him at first when he approached me, and for few minutes he said I stood there like a zombie, and he tried pinching me and he tried talking to me, but I couldn't hear. But all of a sudden it's like something just snapped and I came back to consciousness. That's how he explained it to me. Because the moment he said, when I was conscious of everything that was happening at that moment, he said, "What are you doing here?" And this was the same question that I have. What am I doing here? And then he said, "But I just found you here." I'm like, "What am I doing? I don't even know this area. What am I doing here?" And he said, "What are you having? Are you not, like, you having your bag? Are you going home?" We opened the bag and the bag was empty. So he said, "What is going on?" I'm like, "I don't know." "How did you get here?" I'm like, "I don't know." So we walked back to our place. When we got back to our place, this other guy says, "I told them that I was going home, and I even said goodbye to them." But I'm like, I don't even have money, and this bag is empty. It didn't make sense. So for me, upon reflection, it's like, uh, it was too deep, in the sense that I was really even in a suicidal mode. I was in, it was depression, basically, and which could have led to anything. Hence I said, had it not been for that psychologist, had it not been that room with that psychologist, I don't know where I could have been. I don't know what could have happened, because strange things happened. I remember all the time I would walk to the library, like instantly I had the eager, and I was like, I want to study, I want to do this. I go straight to the library. Instantly when I open my books, I literally cry. Just some things that just go. I need to pack and go. So that psychology room helped me a lot. It really did. It helped me so much. And because after that I was able to concentrate on my studies, I was able to think, obviously a healing process. The healing itself, it's a process. So a process, it's a journey, which no one can ever determine how long or how many miles that journey can be. But it's a journey. But that very first, that very same the very step of the first step of going to that psychology room was a first step towards that healing process, or towards that healing journey for me. And it is still a journey even today. It is still a journey today, but it is a journey that is lighter. It's a journey that can be actually spoken of freely, without anger, without hate, without resentment, without feeling all of this kind of things. So basically that's what happened. And yeah, man, life after that, after losing a parent, can never be the same. It can never be the same. It was not the same for me. It was not the same for us with my sister. It was not the same for us with my sister and my mother. You know, every parent have their own responsibility, have their own what can I say? They all have their own role in our lives, each differently, and no one can replace the other person's role. It can never happen like that. But in life, we all know that there's a time of birth and there's a time of death, and life does move on after that. You know, as easy, as difficult as it may be, but life needs to go on after that. Also, um, like I said, that in being in varsity for me was also an introduction of developing a personal relationship with God. I believe that that relationship with God also had a very huge impact on my healing process, because there I got to understand that I just need to understand that everything has its own seasons, and I need to accept what is before me, you know, and it is a reality. I can't be creating illusions about it, because when you deprive yourself of accepting the reality, then the illusions become what consumes you. So I needed to get to that point, and so being closer to God and having that relationship with God helped me a lot in everything. It helped me a lot, and I believe that if it also wasn't because of that relationship with God, I don't know what could have happened. I don't know what could have happened, but I'm very grateful that things did turn out the way that they turned out, you know, because there you get to learn. So yeah, basically that is my story time. I hope that um that is the story time for today. Yeah, so it's not really exciting, it's not, but yeah, it is a story time. So please do not forget to like, to share, to comment, to subscribe. Please do subscribe, please do support the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see each other again for yet another episode. Bye bye. Bye bye.